And now to introduce the poster award winners is NOGLSTP Treasurer Barbara Belmont.
You know, part of this conference is about sharing science, and one of the ways we do that is to have a student poster contest. And today we had 18 students, a combination of graduates and undergraduates, about split down the middle, to talk about their science, their undergraduate science and their graduate science. And we had about, I would say, maybe 15 judges spread out among those, and everybody talked to all of these students. At least 4 judges saw each student. And so I'm here to announce the results. The graduate award goes to Ariel Heyman for physiological and reproductive responses of an intertidal rockweed to condition associated with sea level rise. And there was more to it, but that's the part I'm going to read. So Ariel, if you can come up and get your prize. And the undergraduate prize goes to Yekaterina Chimke for stability of trans-retinol embedded in phosphatidylcholine multilayer vesicles.
Hi, everybody. I think this is my favorite part. I get to see what a lot of you students can do by being the coordinator of the scholarships. So for many years now, NOGLSTP, thanks to the generous support of Motorola Solutions Foundations, I've been able to give out scholarships. And I would like to actually welcome Gisela, who's representing Motorola Solutions Foundation.
Thank you. Hey guys. So I'm honored to be here to be sharing this space this weekend with like-minded individuals to witness the dedication and commitment of empowering our LGBTQ future leaders. I'm also honored to be here on behalf of Motorola Solutions. Since 1928, Motorola Solutions has been a leader in revolutionizing communications. Today, we design and implement mission-critical communication solutions that help public and private entities build safer and thriving communities, helping people be the best in the moments that matter most. We as a company understand the need and the value of diversity and inclusion, allowing for expression of our authentic selves. Our company culture has earned us the Human Rights Campaign distinction of Best Places to Work for LGBT Equality. We're proud of the steps Motorola Solutions has taken. For instance, our LGBTA Business Council, comprised of Motorolans, runs several programs throughout the year that provides a platform for LGBT employees. In 2017, a gender transition policy was introduced for our fellow employees who transition to assure a welcoming environment and unwavering support of managers and human resources. In 2018, our family leave policy was written to be inclusive of same-sex couples who have children or need to take care of an ailing family member. In addition to our diversity and inclusion policies, Motorola Solutions Foundation has provided more than $300 million in strategic grants benefiting STEM education programs, first responders, and our employees who volunteer their time and raise charitable funds with their generous donations through our matching program. So Motorola Solutions is thrilled to sponsor NOGLSTP for the 7th year. We are incredibly proud to provide these scholarships and support the incoming generation of LGBTQ STEM professionals. On behalf of Motorola, congratulations to the scholarship recipients. We look forward to continuing to work with all of you and striving for a more inclusive and welcoming world.
Thank you. Before we announce the name of the recipients of the Motorola Solutions Foundation NOGLSTP scholarships for the year of 2017 and 2018, I would like, first of all, to give a big thank you to all the reviewers who spend a lot of time reviewing applications. It's not only it's a lot of time, but it's also actually heartbreaking for a lot of our reviewers because the applications we are receiving are incredible. We have undergraduate application and graduate applications, and they're all incredible people. The stories we read through are amazing. And a lot of reviewers every year tell me, can we give a scholarship to all of them? And I'm like, yeah, I wish. But it's great. So it's really something that I've got to enjoy doing every year. Reading through these applications with the reviewers, it's amazing. And again, nothing would be possible without the generous support of Motorola. So thank you again. We appreciate that. Meanwhile, should we do like they do at the Oscars where we could do that?
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's do this. So I introduce one, you introduce one.
All right,
Is that cool?
let's do it.
All right. And so some of the recipients are in this room, some of them are not, but we're gonna call them all. First, the 2017 recipients for the undergraduate scholarship is Ryder Fox from New Mexico Institute of Mining and Technology, who's a major in physics and atmospheric sciences. Congratulations again. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right, so the 2017-2018 graduate scholarship is for University of Chicago, Stephanie B.
For the 2018-2019 recipients, first of all, actually starting last year, we were able to give out 4 scholarships instead of 2. So thank you again. Our first recipient is Thomas Freitag from University of Pittsburgh, the undergraduate scholarship. Thank you. Double major in neuroscience, psychology, double minor in chemistry and social work. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
So our 2018-2019 undergraduate scholarship, Christian Zimmerman, University of Maryland, Physics and Mechanical Engineering.
Let's applaud him. I believe he was not able to make it, but round of applause. Now on to the 2018-2019 graduate scholarships. First recipient is Patrick Martin Tweet. I may mispronounce his name, but it's okay because I believe he's not here. Who's in the Joint Medical Program of the University of California, Berkeley and UCSF. Round of applause for him.
And the next 2018-2019 graduate scholarship, Noel Fries, City University of New York, Public Health.
Thank you very much. I would like to encourage everybody, literally everybody who's a student to apply. The scholarships are the application is gonna start in April. So look at our website and apply. The deadline is, I guess, the first weekend of June. So please apply. I want to read your stories because I know they're amazing. Thank you.
To present this year's educator, scientist, engineer, and Westman Awards winners, please welcome NOGLSTP board member TJ Runningen.
All right, good evening, everyone. So just as David, says that this is his favorite thing doing with NOGLSTP, the scholarships, coordinating the recognition awards is my favorite thing that I do with NOGLSTPs. It's really heartening and encouraging to read about excellent lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer scientists, engineers, and educators. So I'll put the plug in right now. The 2020 nominations are open, And so you're meeting some wonderful people at this event. You know some wonderful colleagues. Please be considering putting in those applications for 2020. But tonight we get to meet the 2019 winners. So the NOGLSTP Recognition Awards were started in 2004. The awards recognize lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people who have made outstanding contributions in STEM education, science, and engineering, and in the cause of supporting LGBTQ people in STEM. One goal of these awards is to document these contributions so that our history and our contributions are not hidden or only whispered about. And I had a chance last night to visit the One Archives and see the wonderful work that they've been doing to record and recognize that history as well. So our first award tonight for Educator of the Year is going to be presented by Alan McCormick from the University of Minnesota. Alan?
I'm just standing in for Stephanie Farrell, who couldn't be here with us tonight. Stephanie is the president of the American Society for Engineering Education and also is the PI for a grant that we have the pleasure of participating in. Benny Chan has taught chemistry in the College of New Jersey, a principally undergraduate serving institution, since 2006. He has also done major service to the American Chemical Society on the Committee for Minority Affairs, Younger Chemists Committee, and working on piloting diversity and inclusion workshops. I'm just going to read a couple of comments that Stephanie highlighted in her nomination. And I'll add that Stephanie and I have been working with Benny since 2015 when he joined a national project to promote LGBTQ equality in STEM. This project, hosted by the American Society for Engineering Education, is the first project sponsored by the National Science Foundation specifically to advance LGBTQ equality and broaden participation of LGBTQ individuals in STEM. And as I mentioned, Stephanie is the principal investigator on that project. Benny's deep personal interest is understanding power and privilege, discrimination and disadvantage. He brings this commitment to the EOF program at the College of New Jersey, where he works tirelessly toward removing structural barriers to education and to achieving equity in educational opportunity for students from low socioeconomic backgrounds and from underperforming high schools. His work on revolutionizing the introductory chemistry curriculum at the College of New Jersey to incorporate diversity and inclusion have the potential to transform chemistry education nationally. I'm pleased to present that.
All right, everyone. Okay. I couldn't get away without doing something like that. All right. Should I live tweet this? No. All right. So I have some comments kind of prepared. So I'm actually testing a few things. I might be doing some bigger talks like this. So first of all, thank you. I'm exhausted. I was just at the National Science Foundation doing panel review. And I can tell you that the review process is amazing. And there's still hope. So if anybody who is looking for grant money, it's out there. There's a lot of good people that are looking for grants, and we're all competitive for that. So I'm really happy to be here. Being in LA, being in Hollywood, I'm thinking about things like Desperate Housewives, Full House, #Varsity Blues. But I'm actually here to talk about, there's another Varsity Blues that's going around, and I think this is only the tip of the iceberg, and it has to do with STEM education. So I'm gonna touch back on that in a second. So I'm from the College of New Jersey. We're a predominantly undergraduate institution with about 6,000 students, with a pretty heavy research expectation. So I started off my career as a teacher scholar. And now I would actually call my career a teacher scholar warrior, a social justice warrior. It's been a long path, and I want to emphasize to all the young professionals here that I don't really think that I'm that special. I grew up in a moderately low-income family. I never really felt exceptional at anything that I've ever done. I barely finished graduate school. I've always felt that most people in this room and every room I've been in have been smarter than me. So it's led to me to be kind of humble about myself. But what I can tell you is because I felt that way, I actually networked a lot. So I think Terry talked about networking, how ridiculously important. I knew what I needed help with. So I went out and sought lots of people for help. And I learned from them. And that was the biggest thing, is that I always thought I had something to learn from other people. So, and many of them are here. And so I think I've developed into this kind of jack of all trades, master of none, but I'm getting there. It's a process. So many of the people that helped me are in this room, including Chris Bannicky, Barbara Belmont, Shelley Diamond, after meeting you at the ACS. I believe Nancy Williams has already left. She's part of the Ionic Viper, a virtual online inorganic teaching resource that transformed my teaching exercises. Is Ron Buckmeyer here? He was my program officer on one of my many NSF grants. So he's around. He was here earlier today. And I want to thank my colleagues at TCNJ. In particular, one of our newest additions is here, Levi Eckinger. We just hired him. He's currently a postdoc at Caltech. And I really want to thank NOGLSTP, the ACS, GTCA, OSTEM, Cortland, for creating all these spaces that we can kind of geek out at and also talk about the stuff that we don't always talk about at work. Although I talk about it now. And of course, I want to thank my husband, Kerry. He couldn't be here today. And I have a pretty large chosen family, including boy Ron and pup Boz and many other people in my community that I work with. So, and I really want to thank my nominator, Stephanie Farrell from Rowan University, and Alan McCormick, and the rest of the American Society Engineering Educator Safe Zone Virtual Community of Practice. So this is actually the first group that taught me about diversity and inclusion, and in particular about the social science behind all those concepts. And I started learning all these models of thinking, like intersectionality, social identity, privilege. And I've really taken that to heart and kind of really transforming how I thought about that. And as a scientist, I sat there and thought, wow, there's a model to explain how all of you kind of work while recognizing each one of you is an individual, which is what I love about intersectionality. So recognizing all these multi-dimension axes of people, and it led to all this great work that we've done with ASEE on this safe zone training. And so it was really great to work on this. And one way you can kind of, think about it is, I did a lot of safe zone activities. I also worked with a lot of underprivileged students, but because I'm part of the queer community, I'm also low income. I came from a low income family. And actually, I've learned more about that. It's actually an implicit bias. And I'm not talking about the snap judgment implicit bias, but the question that I would propose to you in terms of implicit biases is, who do you help first? And that question of who do you help? And once you start to think about that, we have to start thinking more broadly about the kinds of things that we want to do in terms of social justice. Who else is actually having a harder time than me? So then I started thinking about things like race, national origin, citizenship status, gender issues, non-binary, trans, putting all of those together, and there's a great model to actually explain all of that. And I started incorporating all of that into my education processes. And I could talk about that stuff all day, but I don't want to spend too much time on that. But, are there any people that have done the Leadership program? You have? Awesome. Leadership. So one of the things about Leadership is looking for your vision. in there with a healthy disregard for the impossible. And so that is what I'm looking for now. I'm looking for this vision. And one of my visions that I want to look for is that I want anyone who wants a STEM degree that also works hard can achieve a career of their choice. So that is what I'm working towards. And what I'm really tired of this concept of your zip code being a great predictor of whether you're going to succeed in the STEM discipline or not. And that is what I'm working towards. And I think all of us have that opportunity to start to work towards that. I think the queer community has a special place in this process, particularly the queer STEM community. I think the nuances that we have to navigate through all of our identities is directly transferable to this vision that I have. So that's what I call for you, is that you can in effect change. And that understanding all these concepts of intersectionality is going to help us change the world. So I want to thank everybody here for their time and for this award.
All right. Our second award tonight, most of us have already gotten to meet and hear from our awardee for the Engineer of the Year, who is Arianna Morales from General Motors Research and Development. Arianna, the category of engineer, the judges of these awards always have a little bit of trouble. Professional engineers don't tend to collect the same sort of track record that academic scientists and academic engineers do, and so it's a little harder to know what to look for. But in the case of Arianna, the judges had no trouble whatsoever recognizing her accomplishments. She has 24 patents in her name, which is incredible to get that during her career. But in addition to her professional role and accomplishments, Arianna was also recognized in 2011 by the Detroit ACLU as the Civil Libertarian of the Year, which is a phenomenal accomplishment given the professional work she does, to also be that involved and to be recognized in that way. So please welcome our Engineer of the Year, Arianna Morales.
This is my Oscar acceptance, so it's not going to take that long. I just am ecstatic about being recognized by NOGLSTP, and I have just very few comments, and that's showing my appreciation to very few people here and all the people that I have met today. I would say TJ and Terry, thank you so much for the logistic and everything you've done. Shelley, thank you for being a hero, LGBT hero. We wish you sometime, maybe 10% of what you have done. Amy just left, but Amy is what I think we call in my business an ESS, that is Energy Storage System. AKA battery. So that I think is wonderful what she does too. And of course I have to give my appreciation to General Motors, which has worked hard to make a safe environment for everybody, not only the LGBT community, but also everybody in this world. So I appreciate that. We have gone really, really far in the last 20 years that I've been at GM, and we still have a lot to do. But it's really amazing what we have done and where we are now. Finally, I want you to know that I'm a very, very lucky person. I get to spend my life with the love of my life, and I'm very lucky that she's here with me. So thank you, Stacy. Thank you, NOGLSTP.
Our third award tonight recognizes Dr. John Freeman as NOGLSTP Scientist of the Year. John is an associate professor of psychology and neuroscience at New York University. John conducts research at the juncture of cognitive neuroscience and social psychology. His research uses brain imaging, computational modeling, and innovative behavioral methods to explore the cognitive and neural mechanisms that underlie people's split-second perception of others. These include the basis of snap judgments and unconscious bias. John's work requires cross-disciplinary collaboration and has earned him recognition in multiple fields. John is currently an associate professor, but his nominators and our reviewers feel his research record already reflects an innovative, creative, and impactful scientist. So John, please come to the stage to accept the Scientist of the Year.
I was told not to prepare remarks, so I don't have anything too long to say, but I just want to express my deep gratitude to NOGLSTP. Getting the I did some work with the National Science Foundation and trying to make movement on national STEM workforce surveys and getting sexual orientation and gender identity included into that. Sort of my perspective, I think, coming from research on unconscious bias and thinking about how this plays out and trying to get policies in place and thinking about diversity initiatives. But my first conversations were really with Shelley at NOGLSTP and then also with OSTEM. And got the Center for American Progress. And so it was really important and helpful to have that support early on. And so just thankful for that. And thank you for this award. And yeah, thank you.
All right. And if anyone wasn't able to see the talk this morning, the other thing that I'm giving in addition to the NOGLSTP Award is from the California State Senate. All four of our award winners have commendations from the State Senate, and so that's what you're receiving in the red folder. All right. Our final award tonight recognizes Dr. Lauren Esposito as the Walt Westman Award winner. This award doesn't have as self-explanatory as title as the other awards, so I'll quickly explain that Walt Westman was a founder of NOGLSTP, who dedicated himself to support and advocate for LGBTQ people in STEM. The award carries his name to recognize others who have dedicated themselves to the same mission. Lauren has made a huge beneficial impact for queer people in STEM as the creator and driving force behind 500 Queer Scientists website and social network. How many people are on 500 Queer Scientists? Excellent. You know, next year, everybody should raise their hands. Everybody should go to 500 Queer Scientists. It's easy to do, wonderful website. I'm very happy with it. All right, so Lauren's nominators and the NOGLSTP board who judged the Walt Westman Award are proud and awestruck at Lauren's ambition and success with this project. We believe its benefits will only grow with time, and we look forward to working with Lauren and everyone at 500 Queer Scientists. Congratulations, Lauren Esposito.
I'd just first like to say thank you to the organizers of this conference and the sponsors for creating this space where we could come together and get to know one another face to face. Also, a huge thank you to Shelley Diamond, who has been mentoring me through this process of the creation of 500 Queer Scientists since its inception, really, when it was just a thought in my head and not a living, breathing thing that it is today. Also, thanks to my partner, who's sitting over there, for putting up with 6 a.m. uploads of contributions, especially in the first few weeks when they were flooding in. If you don't know what 500 Queer Scientists is, sorry for the moniker, all those engineers and mathematicians sitting in the audience, but it's really intended to be a platform for the STEM community to come together and share short bios and photos, allowing visibility in a way that I think is much greater than anything that's ever been available for us as a community. And I'm also really happy to announce that 500 Queer Scientists is officially partnered with NOGLSTP. And hopefully together we can really serve the community in new and exciting ways. So thank you all for being here, and thank you for the award.